First, I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming, showing some love for Dad. It means a lot to the whole family. I want to really thank you, Michael, Greg B for donating all of this stuff, all the players that are playing tonight, just to make it the event that I know Dad would have loved. So now I'm going to talk a bit about Dad. I've written a bit of a speech so that I get it and try and get through it without crying too much. Stuart Keith Wood, grandson of Daniel and Gladys Dunn, son of Valerie Pittman, brother of Bruce, Ross and Melinda, father of Rachel, Layla, Daniel and Erin and James and Maxine, grandfather of Trey, Anna, Holly, Siobhan, Latoya, Mia, Georgia and Isla, and great-grandfather of Obi. You were also a bandmate, a motorcycle brother, a music teacher, a bus driver, a business partner, a friend, and the front man of the best unknown band in Australia, the Giants. Stuart was born at the Mary Dickens Hospital wing of the Presbyterian Sisterhood Home for Unmarried Mothers in North Fitzroy. His mum Valerie felt a strong bond for her love and love for her son and did everything that she could to keep him by her side. But after a while as a toddler, Stuart moved to Colac to live with his grandparents Daniel and Gladys. He remained there for most of his childhood and adolescence, attending Colac West Primary and Colac High School. During his time, Stuart commuted back and forth to Melbourne to stay with his mother and stepfather and siblings Bruce, Ross and Melinda. Over this period, Stuart's life, he enjoyed football, fishing, shooting and riding with the Highwaymen Motorcycle Club, and of course his music. He started his first bands, Babylon and the Phantoms, with groups of friends, and Stuart loved his musician lifestyle and was working really hard to make it a full-time career. When he moved to Melbourne and he'd met his first wife, Jenny, Stuart's first child, me, came along shortly after and they moved back to Colac to be closer to family. Over the next 5 years, Stuart and Jenny had 3 more children, Layla, Daniel and Erin. Stuart's first marriage ended in 1980 and he moved back to Melbourne to continue pursuing his musical career. In 1981, he formed his career band, the Giants. Upon the death of his grandfather, Stuart moved back to Colac as he had inherited the family home. At this time, he started C&S Sound, a local music store with his good friend Craig De Beer, as well as taught guitar. He also met his new partner Maureen and welcomed the birth of his second son James in 1986. Stuart hosted the Booze Band from Germany and met some of his closest friends Vinnie and Baring. After some time, Stuart's relationship ended and Stuart focused on his career playing with the Giants and the band Chain and expanding his networks. He married his second wife Heather in 1989 on the top of Red Rock at Elvie, creating quite the spectacle. Stuart and Heather were a dynamic duo who pushed his music to new career heights, releasing Gigantic, Boots and All, Nature of the Beast, Freedom Road and Big Bad and Beautiful. Stuart's career was hitting new heights, but personally, the loss of his daughter Maxine at birth caused great sadness for everybody, resulting in the end of his marriage. Stuart moved back to Melbourne permanently, and his single 6 Second Man was picked up by Peter Salmon and used by the American National Harley Drag Circuit. Stuart and the band toured America, following the circuit and promoting his album. Upon returning to Australia, he continued touring and did a tour of Europe with one of his favourite guitarists, Mark Craig, and took his daughter Erin along for the experience. Stuart's friendship group and networks were becoming larger and larger. More diverse people from all over Australia and across Europe were following the band. At this time, he also experienced the sudden loss of his brother Bruce. In mid-2000s, Stuart moved to Tasmania to start up a blues restaurant in Launceston with the help of his mother Val and son Daniel. As much as he loved performing and bringing acts to the Apple Isle, this venture was short-lived and he returned to the mainland. Stuart continued to tour around Australia and he met his partner Cherie, who loved the touring lifestyle. Some highlights during that time was a regular gig at Mataranka Homestead and his involvement in the Vet Rock, a fundraiser for war veterans. It was obvious to the family during this time that his health was beginning to catch up with his rock and roll way of life. It had to happen eventually. Having multiple health emergencies, and upon the end of his relationship with Cherie, he moved back to Colac to be closer to me. During this time he spent in Colac, he formed strong relationships with his grandchildren, Trey, Anna, Siobhan, and welcomed his first great-grandson, Obi. He was extremely proud of all of them. Over the last few years, Stuart lost a lot of his friends, including his second wife, Heather, and his best mate, Bearing. This made him really determined to try and catch up with as many friends as he could while he could. Stuart struggled to stay in the same place. Still continuing to travel, we attended the music premiere patched as a VIP guest in Queensland. While he was there, he suffered a fall and broke a few ribs. He still managed to make it back to Colac, but after that he became suddenly ill and passed away in ICU at Geelong Hospital on Christmas Day. Stuart leaves behind a huge catalogue of albums, DVDs and a myriad of stories, tall and true, from all of his adventures on the road. Other than touring overseas, one of the biggest highlights for him was his multiple appearances, 13, at the Broadford Music Festival. He was forever grateful for the support he had from the many musicians, bike clubs and fans that supported him along the way, and he will be missed by his family and his friends alike. Thank you.
What can you say about Stewie? I won't keep it long. Stewie was a force of nature. If you look at the dictionary and have a look at that word, I'm sure probably should say Stuart Wood. A lot of us here have known Stuart. A lot of us here have been shit scared of Stewie at some stage. I know I have. Well, I remember him saying, "You've got the best view on the house, my arse." And I certainly did do that for quite some time, playing drums. The first gig I did with the Giants was Broadford, 1992. I was a bit scared going to that. I'd never done a biker thing before, but Stewie sort of taught me a lot of things. And I remember being in the band with all these amazing players, you know, Wayne Burke from the Black Sorrows and Paul Williams from Australian Crawl, who'd get to me and go, and Michael Stangel. I hadn't done anything yet. I was a kid. I was about 18 years, well, 25 years younger than everybody else. But Stuart taught me a lot, and from there, things have gone really well. So welcome to everybody here. Thank you very much for coming.
I just want to tell you a couple of things about Stuart and the band and how it got going. The fandom was going well. We did a lot of gigs, especially around the Western District. And then we decided to kick it up a notch and change the name. I happened to be the shortest person in the band, so my ex-wife told us to be called the Giants, and that's how they got their name. And not many people know that.
We started listening to music. I had a love of music. Stuart was absolutely passionate about music. And somehow we got to know each other. And I used to sneak out of the house at my place after dinner at night time and ride my bike around to Stuart's place and in Hewitt Street. And we'd listen to music together and we'd say, "Oh, wow, isn't that fantastic?" So we had a mutual love of music. And then one day when I was around there, I noticed in the corner in a cupboard, he had an old guitar. I said, "Whose guitar is that?" He said, "Oh, that's mine, but I don't know how to play it." Anyway, I pulled it out of the cupboard and I tuned it up for him and I taught him 3 chords, D, A and G. So in some respects, that was the start. I planted a seed, and I'm sorry, but a lot of the stuff that Stuart got up to is probably my fault because I planted a seed about playing music, and I taught him his first song. And every time he'd come back to Colac, years and years later, he'd tell me, "I still remember how you taught me my first song in D-A-G, and it was Bad Moon Rising." So there you go. There's one little anecdote that Stuart never forgot who helped him along the way, and it's a nice little memento to have.
And one thing I want to say, nobody gives him enough credit. I thought he was the best bloody harp player in the country. I know I played with Matt Taylor, Anthony Harkin, and they're fantastic harp players, but Stewie underrated himself. He's an amazing harp player, and he should be remembered for that, if not. And also, I just try to sing some of the songs. They're not easy to sing, believe me, so...
Stuart had an exceptionally loyal following, as we can see here today. Giants fans would think nothing of travelling many hundreds of kms to see the band and Stuart, and would always be keen to say hello. Stuart greatly enjoyed interaction with the fans, and I was always surprised at how well he kept in touch with them, remembering names, etc., even fans he had not seen for years. That was one of his great talents. I just want to say, farewell, Stuart. You're now on Freedom Road. No cops, no speed limits. Valet.
It's been great to see everybody here and enjoy them telling stories about Stewie. He certainly deserved it. He was the best storyteller I'd ever met. I remember coming back from many tours like everybody else, him telling me some stuff. I don't know if it was true, but he should have wrote a book about it because it was amazing. But thank you all for coming. We're going to be here playing some songs, encouraging. Please look around at all the memorabilia. Make sure you know, if you've got something, I think talk to Rach about buying it. Hopefully you should buy it. Buying some stuff or whatever, because that giant merchandise is going to be, it won't be anymore. Without Stuart, there is no Giants. We were glad to get up and do some songs, but he was that band, and he's sorely missed.
I wrote a little bit of a poem-y thing about my relationship with Stu. And it's called Of Mentor and Student, Killing the Boy So the Man Shall Live, on behalf of myself and my mother, Cherie. We begin as individuals, strong-minded and willed, two unstoppable forces. Inevitably, granted, we buck horns, like rams in competition. But within this, we understand our places. We begin to respect each other as stubborn bulls. We do not understand one another, different lessons of different eras, our communication distorted, driven by ego and isolation. But when I talk from a place of understanding and patience, your gifts of wisdom and fierce independence were of timeless values, a mirror that reflects my essence. Stories were beautiful and never-ending. They spoke of travel, struggles, and the true adventures of musicianship. Life wasn't a walk in the park for you, although your ailments were different. I felt your struggles, I felt your pains. You were more human than anyone I met. You helped me break in the cycles of isolation. You helped me challenge my fear of the uncharted. You gave me courage within my intellect and my devotion to my loved ones. You nurtured my love for music by making me appreciate the roots, ancestral music to my eons. Took me on a tour as a boy who knew not much. You told me we were going on a tour. You showed me the outback, many locations I would have never seen on my own. Memories I'll never forget.
After that, we were in bands together at school. He was in a high school band called Babylon, and I was in another little band around Colac with a really embarrassing name called the Globial Knights. How corny is that? And we were playing bubblegum music and then horrible stuff like yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got love in my tummy. How embarrassing. But anyway, that was the time, you know. Bubblegum music was popular and we thought it was good. We were only about 15 years old. And then Stewie started finding all this sort of slightly heavier stuff like Grand Funk Railway and sort of slightly progressive stuff with his band. And that was his school band with Max Chazen, who ended up being in Russell Morris's band. And I guess Stuart was off on a music journey that he never gave up.
Basically, we went and recorded a demo in Melbourne with Terry Broadfoot, the drummer, but then he didn't want to move to Melbourne. And then we recorded a video with Scott Martin over there on the drums on the video, and myself and Stuart, and also Bill Featherston and Stuart McKelvey, and we one of the very first bands in Melbourne that made a video of ourselves. So we got a lot of jobs by just having a video in the early mid-80s. And after all that was done, we started touring around Australia a little bit, played a few different places in all the places, South Australia, ACT, New South Wales, and we did a lot of gigs as the Giants.
I've worked with Stuart for over 30 years, distributing his CDs and releasing them, etc., etc. I first met Stuart over, as I said, 30 years ago. His band, The Giants, were releasing an audio cassette. I was just talking to Martin about it. And I was managing the studio where Stuart came in to get the tape mastered before the cassette release. I remember thinking, judging by Stuart's size and personality, that The Giants was a pretty fitting name for the band.
I accidentally went to a cabaret in Colac and there was a band playing called Headstone, and the Veal brothers, who were really lovely guys, they didn't have a lead guitarist and they had a spare guitar. And I ended up sitting in with the band, ended up being a member of Headstone. And then Stuart was very good at recruiting anybody that he thought might make his band a little bit more interesting. And he approached me one day and said, "Well, you want to join the Phantoms?" Because he had the band, the Phantoms, around town, and they were the #1 band. And I couldn't resist the urge to take the step up to this band that were really highly regarded around Colac and playing really interesting stuff like Lou Reed's Sweet Jane and things like that. So it was a new challenge for me, so I joined the band.
That band just, with all the strong personalities in the band, just busted up after less than a year. But then gradually got back together again, started doing lots more gigs. And Stewie took it over and took this little band from Colac up to Melbourne, and then he took it around Australia, and then he took it around the world. So you're going to see some of the people that started that with Stuart. We're going to play for you in a few minutes.
My next meeting with Stuart was when the Giants were signed to the record company that was associated with the cassette plant. It was also when I met Stuart's wife, Heather. Stuart and I stayed in touch. Fast forward a couple of years and I had branched out on my own, starting my own record company, Black Market Music. Stuart mentioned his dissatisfaction with my old employers and asked if I would be interested in handling the latest release, which was The Nature of the Beast. I was impressed with both Stuart's singing and songwriting, so gave an immediate answer of yes. That began a 30-year association of working with Stuart.
I can still hear the stories that he would tell. Every landmark had a story. Every pub had a story. Every corner there was another story. It was just like when we were on stage. No set lists, nothing. It would be a story. And you knew by what he was talking about is where the song was going to be. Learned a lot of stuff from him. A lot of bad stuff, a lot of good stuff. But yeah, just a hell of a guy, and I was pretty lucky to spend the time that I had with him right up to the last few days. Wish I had something written out to prepare. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. Right, thank you.
And at that time I was playing a Les Paul guitar, and Stuart was a real Fender Stratocaster man, and him and the other guys in the band had Fender Stratocasters, and he kept saying, "Oh, no, get rid of that Les Paul, you've got to have a Stratocaster. I'll get a Stratocaster." So I started looking around for a Stratocaster, and I found one for sale in the Trading Post in Melbourne for $500, a 1962 Stratocaster, worth mega dollars these days. So Stuart and I said, "We're going down to get it." So Stuart came with me, and it said, "No early callers, be there at 10 o'clock. Well, Stuart and I were there knocking on the door at 9 o'clock. And we were the first ones there, and this guy, he pulled it out from under his bed. There was no guitar case, and it had been painted a really horrible colour, but I had a bit of a play of it, and it was a really nice, it was a genuine thing. So I handed over the $500 cash, and that's how I got my first Fender Stratocaster. And a guy in Colac who had a panel beating shop called Craddock sprayed it the same colour as the Shire of Otway road signs, which were this sort of eggy yellow colour, and that's how I got the yellow Strat. And I played that with Stuart for years and years. And then we parted our ways. I went off. I had a young family. I left the band, and other people joined. But it was really nice to come back last year when he played here at the RSL. And he started off playing a couple of songs. He said, "Tony Forbes out there?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here." So he come on up. So I sat in with him for the rest of the night. And it was a really nice way to round off my friendship with Stuart. We'd been through a lot of things together. I'd seen him achieve incredible stuff and be really passionate about music. And I don't think he ever lost that passion for music. And he was game enough to risk it all for his dream. So we can look back and say at least Stewie achieved the dream of making music for a living that he wanted to do.
It does not matter where we come from in life or what we are born of, but how our actions affect others and continue to influence others even beyond our time. I'm so glad my mother found you and glad you paved the way so others may see it's possible. Love always, Jake.
Stewie, you got a lot of friends here tonight.
He sure does. Well, we've come to that time already. We've done this thing. We're going to do this song. This is one of my very favourite songs, regardless. It's an original song written by Stewie and Wayne Burt. You're all going to know the words to this one. If you're a true Stewie fan, a Giants fan, you know this. If you know it, sing along, please. Come on, you outdoors and believers. Come all you angels in the night. Stand up and count it and remember. Fly your colors is your right. I saw you flying like an eagle all across the southern sky. I saw you looking for an answer with a light of honor in your eye. With an iron will and the wind in my face, I ride forever just to get to this place. I tell you now, ready to explode down on freedom. There's a ride across the border, looking for a promised land. The storm that's following behind us to take the victory from our hand. With a rebel hill and the wind in my heels, we'll ride forever just to see how it feels. I feel it now, 'cause I'm ready to explode down on freedom. On guitar, come on, Matt. Break the mold a little bit here. Let's play some keyboards. Come on. Longest serving member needs a little bit of till love. We are very happy to be playing here tonight. We're going to finish with this song here, but there's lots of guys going to get up and play Stewie's original band, old lineups. So make sure you get up and dance. There's some great songs coming up. If you haven't noticed, we got Stewie's hat, guitar, harmonica on your left side of the stage. He's here with us playing right now. Here's to the rock and roll disciple. Here's to the crippled and the lame. Here's to the ones burning forever. Here's to the keeper of the flame. Beyond the walls of pain and sorrow, beyond the gates of flesh and bone, there is a road less real. Road you never are alone. With an eye much.
Well, I am a motorcycle man, I ride a metal steed. I answer to nobody, open road is all I need. I never had a mother, I never had a home. My bike, it is my brother, and my middle name is gone. Well, I take it when I want it, I get it when I can. I'm the meanest man alive, I'm a motorcycle man. Don't you try to tame me, you know you never can. You'll find me on the highway, I'm a motorcycle man. Well, I crossed a lot of rivers, and I nearly turned them dry. And if I wanted water, I just took it from the sky. I've been in every jailhouse, from the mountains to the sea. They lock me up and chain me, but I always do get free. Well, I take it when I want it, and I get it when I can. I'm the meanest man alive, I'm a motorcycle man. And if you see me coming, you better stand aside. The devil is my passenger everywhere I ride. Messing with their minds. They wake up and they wonder just who the hell I am. I'm their wildest nightmare, I'm a motorcycle man. Well, I take it when I want it, get it when I can. I'm the meanest man alive, I'm a motorcycle man. Don't you try to tame me, you know you never can. You find me on the highway, I'm a motorcycle man. Running down your highway, I'm burning up your road, rolling like a cannonball, ready to explode. So if you see me coming, you better stand aside. The devil is my passenger everywhere I ride. I'll take it when I want it, I get it when I can. I'm the meanest man alive, I'm a motorcycle man. Don't you try to tame me, you know you never can. You'll find me on the highway, I'm a motorcycle man. Watch me ride, 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 motorcycle. Come all you angels of the night, stand up, be counted, and remember to fly your colors is your right. I saw you flying like an eagle all across the southern sky. I saw you looking for an answer, with a light of honor in your eye. With an iron will and the wind in my face, well, I'll ride forever to get to this place. I tell you now, I'm ready to explode down on Freedom Road. And as we ride across the border, looking for a promised land, the storm is following behind us to take the victory from our hands. With a rebel yell and the wind at my heels, well, I'll ride forever just to see how it feels. I feel it now, the seed is sown down on Freedom Road. Here's to the rock and roll disciples. Here's to the cripple and the lame. Here's to the ones forever burning. Here's to the keepers of the flame. Beyond the walls of pain and sorrow, behind the gates of flesh and bone, there is a road that leads to freedom, a road you'll never ride alone. With an iron will and the wind in my face, well, I'll ride forever just to get to this place. Well, I tell you now, I'm ready to explode down on Freedom Road. Down on Freedom Road. Down on Freedom Road. Down on Freedom Road.